What's up, sports fans? We're back. College football fans, sports fans, it don't even matter. We're back. It's been a while. It took me a long time to recover from that Oregon loss. It took me a long time. But that's not here nor there. Okay, we're back. We're better than ever. Hope you guys been doing well. Moving on. Anyways, so I've got my top 13. I've got a new setup now. So my group that are just out of the top 13 is called the box. Proceeded right here, the box. Okay, so they're called the box. They're the teams that I have just outside of the top 13. I'm not putting a G5 team or G6 team. I'm not putting any lower tier teams inside of there just yet. um, it's preseason at this point. I'm not making any assumptions as to who's going to be where toward the end of the season outside of Oregon winning a national championship. I've got to do it. It just is what it is. Like me or hate me, it doesn't matter. But honestly, like this year, I truly feel that way. Yeah, whatever. I know all the jokes. Anyways, but I'll get into my reasons for everything here in just a second. As you can see, my list probably looks a little different, probably a lot different than a lot of other people. Everybody generally has the top seven as consistent as can be. Outside of that, it's pretty much a little different. But inside of my top seven, it could be a little different. So I used um, these helmets that I had got last year. I still can't get two sets. I can't get. Number one, I can't get the ACC. I've ordered it twice and it's been the wrong ones. So I don't know if the people that I'm ordering it from, they don't like the ACC, and I don't blame them because I mean, why would you, right? Um, but also independent schools like Notre Dame. Now, granted, this gave me a good idea because I believe that if you're independent, you don't deserve a helmet to be on this list. So join a conference and you might get a helmet. But anyways, so let's go ahead and get straight to my top 13 now. I just went based off of the little bit of information that we've been able to gather since fall. I mean, since the spring. Um, a lot of teams have changed a lot of players. It's hard. It's so hard now to really adjust um, your expectations for teams when there's so much turnover and changing around. You know, we used to be able to go strictly off of returning production, quarterback play, returning coaches, stuff like that. Now it's a matchup, a mashup, pretty much until week 5. Then you truly get an idea for the teams that you think are going to get in that race. And even then, you still don't know. But nevertheless, let's go ahead and get into it. None of these are predictions. I will completely change my list around after week 1, 2, 3, 4 until we get the right list. I mean, I'm not making a prediction. I reserve the right to completely change because nobody knows whatsoever who's good and who's not outside of Oregon. Anyways, all right, so let's get straight to it. So I've got my list here, and I'm gonna go through my list after. I'm gonna go through each team and how I feel about them after I tell you who's where. So number one, we got Ohio State. Say what you want. I understand. Ohio State is what it is. They are a machine at this point. They're going to be great. When did they lose a game last year? The Big Ten championship game. That's it. Um, it just is what it is at this point. They are a machine. Obviously, they lost in the playoffs. I'm just saying regular season, because that's all this list is good for is the regular season, and it's not even good for that right now. But yeah, so their only game they lost this year was to Indiana in the championship game. You know, we all sit here and go cry me a river, but they are a machine. They're going to be up there every single year. They do have the hardest schedule in the Big Ten, though, I might add. Nevertheless, let's move on. Notre Dame, number 2. Why? They have the easiest schedule. There's no way they're ranked anywhere lower than number 5 all year. If they lose a game, I promise you, I don't even know what to think anymore. Like, how could you lose a game? But nevertheless, if they lose a game, it's going to be to Miami. Outside of that, they're just doing normal Notre Dame stuff and just losing a random game to somebody that they shouldn't lose to. They have a great team coming back. Great team, so underrated. Um, I'm very interested to see year two CJ Carr. I'm so interested to see that they've been hyping up their running back. His name escapes me right now, but when I get to my notes, I'll be able to remember. But they've been hyping up their running back, saying he's the next coming. So let's see. But yeah, I've got them number two. I've got Oregon number three. They have the most. So like last year, Oregon, I think they were number two or number three in most production from freshmen. All those guys are coming back that played last year. They're actually getting healthier at the wide receiver position. Hopefully, they can stay healthy all year. My biggest question mark for me, the reason why I do not have them number one, is strictly based off of offensive line play. We don't know what their offensive line is going to be. I know two starters that I can guarantee right now, and that's it. That is completely it. We have two promising freshmen coming in, but I don't want to. I'll get to the notes. Miami's number four. I had to use a completely different helmet for Miami because, again, I can't get the ACC ones. I just don't know why. But Miami's number four. Clearly, they're changing quarterbacks, but Darian Mintz is going to be a great guy. I think Darian Mintz is going to be pretty darn solid, to be honest with you. So, um, their defensive line, boy oh boy. I watched now credit to oh boy, it's escaping my mind. It's a podcast with Darian Bates. I don't know why I can't think of the I apologize guys, but listen, I watched that and they had Miami's top one of their top defensive ends and they end up having him on there as one of the highlight tapes and I went to go watch. Oh my god. If this kid does not start or at least have some type of production, boy, I advise y'all to go check that episode out and go check out old buddy. He's nice, real nice. But nevertheless, they're reloading everywhere. Um, their biggest question mark with me for me, um, shoot, outside of the secondary, I'm not really sure too much. What you could question. Returning production at the receiver position. I don't know. Uh, Tony can't be the only guy on offense. So, anyways, I've got them at number four. Number five, I got Georgia. Their biggest thing is, yeah, Gunnar Stockton. He in certain games he looked like a great quarterback, and then other games it's like, what are we doing? So I don't know where Georgia's headed at this. For the future. They dropped in production in sacks. Their defensive line play just doesn't look the same anymore. Even this year, their recruiting class, I think they only have like 7 commits so far. It's still early for Georgia, but you get my point. Like it doesn't feel like the same Georgia to me. But at the end of the day, they have Kirby Smart, and if there's any coach in the in the college football that I'm going to trust right now, it's going to be Kirby Smart. Um, Regardless of what you talk about, everybody else, Kirby Smart is until he proves me wrong. I still hold out trust that he'll get this program together and get it back on the right track. Number six, Indiana. I mean, what are we gonna say? But the only thing that I have a major question about Indiana is their quarterback. We don't know what Josh Hoover is going to be. I live out here in Fort Worth. Come on, like we know what Hoover brings to the table, and it's a lot of interceptions. So that's my biggest question mark with them. What are they going to do at the quarterback position if this does not go right? Kirk Cignetti is a great coach, top three right now for me. What are you going to do at quarterback if this does not go right with him? Because I don't know. Number seven, I'm not as big on Texas as everybody else is. It was actually a stretch for me to put them at seven. They have phenomenal talent everywhere, but that same talent that's phenomenal is the same talent that was there last year, quite literally. So, I mean, yes, you added the best wide receiver in the portal this year, and I give it up to him. But at the same time, what are we doing? Uh, I don't know. Like people, oh, did you see the end of the year with Arch? Did you see the end of the year with Arch? Did you see the full year with Arch? Granted, I'm holding out hope that he becomes something great. I would love to see it. I want nothing but great football all year. But that's just not the reality. And you have certain guys that have to prove themselves, and he's one of them. We just don't know. I know their defense is going to be great. Their defense was great last year. Their defense was absolutely great, except for against Florida. Florida, for some reason, came in there and said, "Bombs away. Let me show you what I got." Um, but outside of that, man, their offensive line is question marks all over it. They have 5-star guys everywhere. They have one 5-star guy that was supposed to come to Oregon. He's actually there. He's their left tackle, a starting left tackle, I believe, as of right now. But I just don't know with their offensive line. Number 8, I got Ole Miss. I mean, what can you say? Um, they have the top two uh quarterback and running back coming back this year. If college football, if there's anything that you really need, it's a top running back and a top quarterback, and then everything else you're gonna just figure it out. Those two alone are gonna win you a lot of games. Um, I just it's just a question mark now of how far do you want to take this, and how far can they go? Uh, let's see if their coach can pick it up and do what he did in the playoffs for a full season. That'll be very interesting to see. Their first big matchup is going to obviously be against LSU. Can't wait for that. Ole Miss, I literally have them at 9 off their defense alone. Their defense alone is literally number 9 for me. Say what you want. I don't care. If 80% of their games are gonna come down to uh, what is it? Between 10 and 17 points, and you need a drive to get a win. I'm putting them at number 9 because their defense is doing that every single game, and they did it all last year. So yes, I have them there. And if John Mateer can turn back to the guy that he was, then obviously they'll be justified at that pick. I'm in that ranking. Number 10, Texas A&M. If there's any team that I feel like is going to fall out to the low 20s, high teens, it's going to be Texas A&M. I said it multiple times, multiple times. Marcel Reed is not that type of dude that they kept thinking they were. He was. Now, granted, he is a college quarterback. I look at him and Trinidad as almost the same people. Trinidad is a better passer, but not by a large margin, in my opinion. But I look at them pretty darn similar, and it'd be interesting to see what they can do. I know their defense is going to be good. I really trust their coach. Hey, we'll figure that out. Number 11 is Texas Tech. So there are there are 3 teams on here strictly because of their schedule. And make no mistake, it's just is what it is. Their schedule it's a mixture between their schedule and the conference that they play in. Texas Tech is one of them. You play in the Big 12. Regardless of your quarterback situation, if your quarterback is at least serviceable, you'll go undefeated in the Big 12. I don't care what y'all think about what y'all got to say about the Big 12 is what it is. It is a step through. Matter of fact, let me put it this way. Every team ranked above Texas Tech will go undefeated in the Big 12 this year. Every team. Think about that. Every team above Texas Tech would have an over under of 11 and a half. Every single team. That's it just is what it is. You cannot tell me right now that Texas Tech has an excuse to not be a 11 or 12 win team in the Big 12 right now. They just have to do it. If not, they're going to be scooted right on out of there, maybe ranked in the low 20s if they lose more than one game. There's no maybe. They would be probably out of the side of the top 25. BYU, same thing. They're ranked number 12 on here, strictly because of the conference that they play in. That's it. Nothing else. Strictly because of the conference you play in. That's the reason why you're at 12. Do I think they're an okay football team? Yes. I think they're pretty darn good. But I don't believe. I think there's obviously levels to this. We saw what Texas Tech what happened to them in the playoffs, and then we saw that BYU couldn't even. They just couldn't win the game against Texas Tech twice. So I think there's levels to this. They're ranked there because it's a regular season rankings, preseason, regular season. You get my point. Um, Number 13, LSU. The only reason, let me be clear, the only reason why I do not have them higher is because we do not know how the cohesion is going to look like, what it's going to be like once you get into the season. You can bring in this 5-star, that 5-star, a great recruiting class, a great portal class. You can do whatever you want, but you're bringing in all this at once, including a new coaching staff. That is a lot. Guess who that sounds like? Sounds like Indiana, but there's only one Indiana. Sorry. And even their first year, they lost 2 games all year. Is not going to, I don't believe that it happens for LSU that way. Number one, you play in the SEC. Yes, I'm a Big Ten guy that believes the SEC is still the deepest conference. It is what it is. They LSU plays in the SEC. They're not going to shock everybody and just go beating people. I know what Sam Levitt is. I'm a big Kenny Dillingham fan. I watched Sam Levitt. Sam Levitt's gonna win you a game, and he's also the type to lose you a game if you let it happen. It just is what it is. I don't believe in LSU, or I don't believe that LSU can come in here year number one and just dominate the SEC. It's not happening. It's not happening. Um, it just is what it is. So, on to the box. Okay. So we got the box. If you can't see, is it a little hard? Yeah, it's kind of hard to see. Anyways, this is USC. By the way, I don't have any one of these teams above any of the others. I believe that this is the next group of teams that are going to be in that 14 to 17, 14 to 19, 14 to 20 range. The next group of teams that are going to be like fighting for positioning to get inside the top 20 or inside the top 13. So we got USC, we got Washington. This might be a shocker to y'all, but I have Oklahoma State. Yes, I said it, Oklahoma State. They play in the Big 12. I have Penn State, the easiest schedule in the Big 10. And I got Tennessee. A lot is being made. I will say a lot is being made about Tennessee's quarterback battle and how good they're looking. I'm very interested to see how that's going to look because Tennessee has a good team everywhere else. Um, that box is going to be serious. That box is everybody in that box has 2 opportunities. Number one, to shake up the top 13, and number two, to push their way inside the playoffs and make some noise on teams that are very capable of doing so. Number one, I'll give USC some credit. They're great on offense and horrible on defense. But nevertheless, if their defense is anywhere near good enough to take a step forward, USC is going to be a really good team this year. If their defense takes a step forward, that is the only question. Can your defense take a step forward? And the answer's been no every year. We'll see about this year. If that happens, USC is going to be inside the top 10, in my opinion. Washington. Washington literally has the opportunity to shake up the playoffs just off the schedule alone. If they can somehow string together a bunch of wins and Damon Williams gets his head out of his butt, they will be pretty darn good this year. It's just it that's how I feel, man. There's a few other teams that I don't have in there that I could. UCLA is one of them. Cal is another. They could make noise in their conferences. Cal plays in outside of Cal's travel distance. Traveling is the hardest part of Cal's schedule, in my opinion. Outside of that, they can make a ton of noise in the ACC. UCLA plays a lot of teams, but if they're good or at least decent, they have an opportunity to upset a lot of teams. Oregon being one of them. Tennessee, you play a lot of teams. They are good enough to upset a few. That's all I'm saying. That's why this box is such a big ordeal, because these are the box is the group of teams that can change up the playoffs, in my opinion, or the top 10, top 15, whatever. And another point too, if any one of these teams don't make it in, let's say they having a bad season and they still upset a team. One of those teams that they upset, if it's big enough to be considered an upset, it's going to be a team in the top 10 or the top 13. That's all I'm saying. Um, Penn State. Penn State has the biggest opportunity, in my opinion, out of the entire group to make some real true noise, strictly off the insanely weak schedule they have. But let's say they're able to go 11-1, 10-2. Let's just say they are able to do that, and they make it to the Big Ten championship game and get a win. Guess what happens then? Penn State's back in the playoffs. All I'm saying is all Penn State has to do is literally not lose it. Now, if they have a bad loss in there, one bad loss, they're out because their schedule is so insanely weak. So they would have to at least have a decent year as far as the schedule is concerned. All right, so this video is getting pretty long. I had some notes about every team, but I'm gonna go ahead and skip that. That's my top 25. Hope you like it. If you don't, whatever. But just let me know your comments and your thoughts down below. I'll change up some stuff if I need be.